The topic for today's meditation is self-compassion. We've been working our way through the concentric circles, the different categories in compassion, and we've come to self-compassion, and we're going to linger here for a few sessions because you can't have enough self-compassion. Filling one's own cup with one's own care, especially holding one's own suffering with care, love, affection, instead of self-recrimination or self-judgment or trying to whip yourself into shape like, oh, here you are. Oh, you're being a crybaby, calling yourself names. Ouch, ouch. It's adding more insult to injury. It's adding more insult to injury. And it doesn't really work, actually. It doesn't really work to get us to do what we want to do in the world. It just makes us more depressed, disempowers us, makes us feel bad. There are plenty of studies connecting lack of self-compassion and self-flagellation with depressive mind states, self-criticism, self-judgment with depressive mind states. And of course it makes sense, because if you keep hitting yourself, keep demeaning yourself, of course, ouch, ouch. It doesn't support you, but it makes you feel worse. So instead of actually supporting you to be stronger in the world, it actually diminishes you. So self-compassion is also very different from self-aggrandizement, from being self-obsessed. It's none of those. It's none of those. It's a healthy self-care, self-regard for oneself. Basically, the way you would treat someone you care about. You can think of a young one, and we did this in the meditation a couple of weeks ago. If you imagine a little child who's having a hard time, you wouldn't kick them and say, oh, come on, get it together. But ouch, we tend to do that when we have a hard time. We kick ourselves in the shin, get it together, instead of, oh, sweetie, this is hard. This is hard. So the first step in compassion, especially in self-compassion, is acknowledging that this is hard. Simply acknowledging that this is hard. What you're going through right now, this is hard. Just that simple acknowledgement that we often miss. And I know that I've missed that many, many times in my life. Having had a chronic illness, the first few years, the first few months of it, I would be tired, exhausted, and I would berate myself. Come on, there are all these emails waiting for you. Get it together. It's like, oh, and then it took me a while to realize, wait, sweetie, you're tired. You're not being lazy. There's something going on in this body. And learning to actually be more affectionate, to be more understanding, to realize that it was challenging. It was the starting point of knowing, of learning how to work with it. So that awareness, bringing awareness to seeing that this is challenging, can open our hearts to care and can open our minds to wisdom, to actually open up to ways to wisely work with it instead of continuing to kick ourselves and get into a vicious cycle